Long time no see.
See you.
Without your gun drawn on me, badge in my face and didn't recognize you.
I watch the YouTube channel.
Him again.
You got your eyes. Okay, call the meeting to order. Johnson, if you can call roll.
Sure. Mr. Matt Seal.
Here.
Steve Donahue.
Here.
Kevin Meadows. Hubert Allen.
Here.
Steve Rosen.
Here.
Eric Donahue. William Flippen.
Here. Okay. Do we have a motion?
Chairman, I move to adoption of the agenda as presented.
Second? Second.
Matt Seal.
Yes.
Steve Donahue.
Yes.
Kevin Meadows. Hubert Allen.
Yes.
Steve Rosen.
Yes.
Eric Donahue. William Flippen.
Yes. Okay, and we don't have any minutes to approve. No general citizen comments.
Did you say that?
Okay. Old business.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. The first item I have for you this evening under old business is the recurring potential code amendments that will be coming your way. The first would be a code amendment for Chapter 74, the zoning ordinance for multifamily dwellings. Currently, our ordinance does provide for the approval of single and two-family dwellings. But we are going to be looking to add a triplex or quadplex, a 3 or 4 unit multifamily dwellings, as well as multi-use zoning. I'm looking to have the zoning ordinance amended to allow for the potential of residential and some business or commercial uses in the same dwelling or the same structure on the same property. Such as in the village center here, where we could have maybe the first floor be business use and then have maybe the second floor be residential use. We've also discussed in the past the difference or wanting to differentiate between a commercial kitchen versus an agricultural kitchen. The next would be an erosion and sediment control ordinance update. The state code has changed, therefore our ordinance would also need to be updated to be in compliance with the state code. The next is for the Board of Zoning Appeals code amendment. This would be a revision to be in compliance with state code as well. And the last would be a noise ordinance textual change. When the noise ordinance was originally updated, I would say 3 or 4 years ago, there was reference to a code section in our ordinance that was textually inaccurate. It referenced like chapter 34-7 or 34-37, and it should be 34-7. So it's just a minor textual change, but that still would require public hearings for both the Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors. Any questions on those? Okay. The next item under old business is the Cobbs Creek Reservoir update. The last meeting, they were under a hold, a 2-week hold at elevation level 272. That 2-week hold has now expired. They should be able to continue pumping from the James River. However, due to the decreased river levels, they're unable to pump at this time. Hopefully the rain that we have coming in the next couple days to this coming week will change that, and they will begin to start pumping into the reservoir again. The last item that I have for you under old business is a solar update. Previously approved conditional use permits for Dunn and Rowlett sites 1 and 2. Those CUPs were issued in 2021 and 2022, and I'm happy to announce that we have approved their land disturbance permits, so they will begin construction or land clearing in about 2 weeks, and we do have a pre-construction meeting set with them on October 1st. So those projects will begin here shortly. And that is all I have for you under old business.
Okay. New business.
Thank you. Under new business, the first item we have is a Board of Supervisors update for Mr. Paulson.
The only thing I have, again, thank you very much for your proactive and positive ways of doing business. That comes from me and the other board members. Just wanted to also let y'all be aware, on the 24th of this month, which is a Wednesday night at 6:30, there will be a town hall meeting in Shrewsbury Swamp. Again, 6:30, everyone's invited. We'd love to have you all participate. The address is on was it 6 or 6:30? John told me 6:30, that's why I wanted to double check with you.
I tried to pull up on the website earlier and I wasn't able to get access
Hold on, I
to it. We can,
put it in my,
I've got, I see all those emails. So I can-
Just like I said, anybody that can come, please come, because
I've got 1800 to 6.
okay, so that's my bad, that's why I was double checking to make sure 6 o'clock. Like I said, it's gonna be a proactive meeting and, a chance for all of us to reacquaint with each other and share some ideas. Again, y'all doing a great job. Your successes are the board successes and Cumberland successes. So the positives continue. Again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, because each and every one of y'all does a fantastic job. Thank you.
the next item we have under new business this evening is a planning department monthly update. And that can be found on pages 1 through 4 of your board packet. For the month of August, we have issued 1 commercial accessory zoning permit, 7 residential primary permits, so those would be for new homes, 7 residential accessory permits, and 2 farm structure affidavits. We've approved 6 subdivision permits, and we have 29 still pending. And I apologize, the numbers on the report are incorrect. On page 4, we've approved 3 surveyed existing lots, and we have a total of 27 pending. The only commercial land disturbance permit I had approved at the time was that Cobb's Creek Reservoir project. However, those 2 land disturbance permits we just approved for the solar projects will be added to this file going forward. So you'll see those in the coming months. We also issued 8 residential erosion sediment control permits. And then you'll also see on page 5 those lists of potential code amendments that I discussed in old business. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Yes, so there's a lot pending.
Yes.
Are those pending because the applicants haven't gotten all the information in, or are they pending upon staff to do something?
All of the potential code amendments are waiting on me. They are waiting for staff to have the time to do the research in the code, as well as draft the amendment and ensure that it is compliant with state code, and then get that to the county attorney in order for him to review. Just check over what I've done, make sure that it is accurate before it will come to the planning commission.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's just one comment from me then, is that, we don't want to give any more work to you, because obviously you're behind.
Yes, yes, very, very behind. Actually, I'll talk about that here in the next couple minutes. Any other questions?
Is this, the number of residential permits, is this consistent with what it's been year to year, this time of year? It just seems big, which I think is a good thing. There are homes going up all over the place out there, all over the place, which I kind of like.
It is not consistent. Well, I will say in the last 4 years, it has increased. Prior to 2020, we did not have this much development, residential or otherwise. Since 2020, we have seen each year that number grow every month. So since 2020, it has been off the chain.
There's money coming into the county. So
There are permits coming in every month. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any other questions?
I do, in
Yes, sir.
regards to that too. With them coming in, and I don't remember, we bought our house in 2006. At some point in time, there was you had to have so much land to build a house.
Mhm.
When was that changed? Obviously, I know it's changed
when it changed, but to my knowledge, so generally speaking, the majority of the land in Cumberland County is zoned A2 agricultural. I would have to say 85%.
That's right.
The minimum lot size now is 2 acres, and it has been that way since I can remember.
And I think 200 foot of road frontage, right?
Yes, sir, exactly, 200 feet of road frontage. The road frontage requirement or the setback requirement, the setback requirement I know has changed, but the road frontage requirement, I believe, changed. Mr. Allen, you may have,
Requirement changed, it was either 96 or 97.
yes,
And, the 2 acre lot size, I want to say that came about in my tenure on the board of supervisors. I don't remember the exact year, but it was between 96 and 2000. It's been 2 acres for
for many years.
30 years, I would say.
That was just to run out, I mean, it was a
Yeah.
bad question. Just curious.
Just want to
Yes.
know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's good to know.
But it used to be 5 acres. And we felt,
I thought at some point it was like 4 or 5.
yeah, the board I was on felt it was somewhat restrictive. And we had a lot of property that was in A2 zones that did not meet their criteria for, a building permit to be issued for a home. And the Board of Zoning Appeals and the Planning Commission and the board were seeing a lot of, CUP requests for 2 to 3 acre lot sizes.
So it's 2 acres and 200 feet of road frontage. It's pretty simple.
In an A2 zone.
Yeah, in the A2 zone. Any other questions? The next item under new business is the building inspections monthly report, and that can be found on pages 7 and 8 of your massive packet that we have this month. And you can see on page 8, for the month of August, there were issued a total of 109 building permits for a total fees collected of $15,482.68, and a total of 13 certificates of occupancy that were issued. A total estimated value of $3,342,778.92. All of the construction for that month. So the next item that I have for you, for new business, I just wanted to make you guys aware that we are in the process, the Community Development Department is in the process of drafting a agritourism policy. What I have found in my 4 years in this office is that depending on the person in the position of the planning director and zoning administrator, the determination for what qualifies as an agritourism activity varies. Three planning directors ago, if any activity occurred on any quote-unquote farm or any land that had animals, it was automatically exempt as agritourism, an agritourism activity. 4 planning directors ago, it had to meet, stricter requirements as far as it had to be a bona fide farm, which was regulated by state code. And it was more leaning on the state code regulations for what constituted a farm, what constituted an agritourism activity. So in order to ensure that everybody was treated fairly and equally across the board, the building official and myself, along with the county attorney, drafted or are in the process of drafting an agritourism policy, which will define what is an agritourism activity, what we do not feel is an agritourism activity, what will be permitted, what will require permits or festival permits, things of that sort. we want to make sure that no matter who is in this position, everybody is treated the same. I have found that there is an event center or an agritourism location that may not necessarily be an agritourism activity, but they were given written permission from someone in this position many years ago that said, yes, you are exempt, you do not need any special permits, that maybe should have received a conditional use permit for the activity that they have on their property. So going forward, after that person left, the next planning director came in and they had somebody apply for the same type of use and they were requiring a conditional use permit. They went through the process and then found out that citizen A didn't have to go through the same process and then were upset. So I'm trying to deter that, ensure that everybody again is treated equally and fairly. We are in the final stages of this policy, and I just want to make sure you guys are aware this is just a departmental policy. This is something that we are looking at as a department. It's not something that the board is enforcing. This is just something that we are having within our department. So once we do have that finalized, and I will send that to you guys so that you are aware of what we're going to be looking at. Okay. Next on the list is community development staffing update. So going back to what Mr. Donahue was talking about with me being behind and needing help. While I don't have anyone in my office yet for the part-time, we are still in the process of looking to fill that position. However, the full-time permit tech for the building official's office, they have filled that position. Her name is Gina Morrison, and she is on day 10 in the office, and she's on her second week, and she is doing amazingly well. She comes to us from Powhatan County, where she served in the circuit court clerk's office. So she does have extensive experience with land records and things like that. She does have family members in the construction industry, so she does have experience on that side of it as well. Whenever you guys get a chance to come into the office during the business hours, feel free to stop by and introduce yourself. She's a great asset to the county and to the community development department as a whole. So just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on that as well.
What was her name again?
Gina Morrison.
Gina Morrison.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm. And the last thing that I have for you guys under new business is the potential for a conditional use permit for a telecommunications tower. As you may or may not be aware, the county administrator and the Department of Fire and EMS are working on a public safety radio system upgrade. They are working with the state police as well as I think the regional fire and EMS groups to upgrade our radio systems. And as part of that, we may need to install a telecommunications tower. So if that does come to fruition, then of course we will need to go through the conditional use permit process. And I have for you, let me show you this for a second, a map of where that might go. So here's the GIS map here showing kind of the courthouse area. Here's the administration complex. And here, 1492 is the sheriff's office. And their parcel actually comes back here behind the building. Here is our water plant that we have back here. In this flat area of land behind the sheriff's office in the old bank before you get to the water system, the water treatment plant back here. This is probably the best space that we have located for that communications tower should it be necessary. It's generally flat. Of course, they may need to take some of these trees down, for better communications, for better access. But in looking at that, that is probably going to be the best location should it be needed. So, any questions?
Do you have any type of dimensions on the tower at the moment, or that's to be determined?
Unless Mr. Simpson.
No, I know that, Mr. Kane is working, getting it donated, the tower itself from the state police, but they're working out some details right now. I think the other issue other than the tower being donated, some type of donation, was the fiber optics portion of it, which is being negotiated with Firefly.
Yes.
Firefly. So that's the only thing we know, or I know of now with that. But I think the tower being donated will save us a lot of heartache and a lot of money versus the other options, I think, would be wood tower.
Yes.
There were some things there, and I think at one time EMS, years and years ago, had some type of antenna located on the watchtower, fire tower,
Right.
across the street. But again, that's antiquated, plus the fact it's not owned by the county. That was the other problem. So hopefully the state of these donation will help.
So if you don't, if there's no more questions, that is all that I have for you this evening under new business.
Any comments from anybody about anything? Yes, sir.
So, as you might suspect, this is probably premature comments, but I would encourage you and your colleagues to interpret negative tourism very broadly.
It is. Yeah. There's
It wasn't
very,
anticipated.
there's very few exceptions that we have noted, and they're very specific. So once we do have that in a, final format, then we'll definitely send that to you guys.
All right. Any general commissioner comments?
We do.
I'm sorry.
I've noticed with the solar that more and more counties are being more and more restricted. I think I saw where Fluvanna is not allowing any solar on agricultural land, anything zoned agriculture. And I heard another county, one of the board members said that they weren't going to approve anything in production agricultural land. Or if you
Well,
get
it's just made the decision not to allow solar at all.
Who?
Which
Is
guy?
that Orange County, you said?
And they've already, I understand, hoping themselves up to the first lawsuit.
I like to just comment on the radio system and the upgrade and say that, I mean, 100% support of it, just to say that the only thing I see is that one house, I think it was a house in front of that, that would be the only concern, but other than that, it's not, please, vehicle,
I'll pull it back up so
on
you
the
can see
road,
it.
that, is that a house?
Yeah, that's the health department building
All right,
there.
I mean,
Yep, I can zoom.
I'm not
in.
going to go to the health department, but
That's
if
okay.
if it were to fall at nighttime, then hopefully everybody's
Maybe,
behind the building.
Yes. when
But, you know, my opinion is, there shouldn't be a question. These people protect us, they save our lives, we shouldn't be fighting in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, we do need to reset the workshop that we postponed last week. So you have some dates that are available, so you look, we can work this with everybody.
Let's see. I mean, we can, whatever works for the commission, we can schedule that. Let's see.
We have a workshop in November, right?
Yes, the next regular scheduled workshop is November 4th.
So we need to do it before then. We need to do it in the next couple of weeks.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we hold the workshop that was supposed to come on 7 October, which would be 2 weeks before our regularly scheduled meeting. If I believe I'm correct in saying that that is a contract.
Yes.
On October 7th.
Is everybody
Are
available?
they available on Monday evening?
6 o'clock.
6:30.
6:30?
I'm available, so that's fine. We'll do it. All right, so you're making a motion?
Yes.
Can we get a second on that motion, please?
Second.
Okay, Matt Seal?
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Steve Rosen,
Yes.
Harry Donahue is absent, and Mr. Wade Flippin.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn to our next regularly scheduled meeting, or workshop meeting on 7 October.
Second.
Matt Seal,
Yes.
Steve Donahue,
Yes.
Kevin Meadows,
Yes.
Hubert Allen,
Yes.
Steve Rosen,
Yes.
Wade Flippin.
Yes. Another record.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, because you asked for the address, I never gave you the address, but I was thinking, that was 6.
No, I was talking.
28 cents.